250,000 subscribers. That is insane. We're going to be doing 150 tips and tricks to get you better at Siege. Now, if you combine that with the 100 that we did for our 150,000 subscriber special, we have a total combined 250 tips and tricks, and I think that's perfectly fitting because we just hit 250,000 subscribers. Now, if you don't feel like personally watching me thank you, then go ahead and skip to the time below in order to jump right into our first tip and trick. Now, if you're still here, then I want to personally thank you. You guys have changed my life for the better. The Coconut Bra family has the best subscriber base in the world. I've also really wanted to share with all of you guys what has been going on in my personal life, so I will be doing a special vlog style video coming up on Sunday. Not this Sunday though. I'm probably going to be taking a couple days off after doing this video. I'm just a little bit sleepy after doing this one. As another thank you, I'm also going to be doing a giveaway with my org Disrupt, and we are going to be giving away a DX Racing gaming chair. So link to the giveaway will be down below. It is a US only giveaway. Thank you guys for understanding. It can be a little bit difficult shipping something of that size, but I will make sure to do a worldwide giveaway in the near future. Last night was also the launch of our brand new 250K Coconut Bra family t-shirt. Link to that will be down below. That will be available for the next 30 days or so, and then it will be gone forever. Anyways, bras, if you guys have made it this far, just know that you are absolute legends and I truly love you all. Now let's get right into it with our first of 150 tips and tricks for Rainbow Six Siege. Now, there's always cool ways to think outside of the box with each operator. This is a cool trick that you guys can use on Maestro, and while this is a cool spot on Chalet, this is also going to work on multiple different sites. Just got to look around and think about which one that you could use outside in order to completely wipe Hibana and Thermite off the grid. Now this one goes out to the legend Cobb. He actually taught me on how you can chat as everybody. What you do is go all caps T's until the very end, add 4 space bracket. You can either do all or team and then space. Just type out their name, semicolon, and type the sentence you want them to say. Super funny way on how you control your friends. Huge legend in Cobb for figuring this out. Link to his channel will be down below. Now, if an attacker chooses to run left after spawning from the junkyard spawn, this is a very easy spawn kill location that you can do from the bedroom hallway. Another way that you can choose to use your Valkyrie cameras is by placing them on items on the wall that fall when they get shot. For example, speakers that make noise when they get shot, as long as they don't directly shoot the camera will just fall along with the broken speaker and still be able to be used. Now this right here is an insane angle that we're going to be doing by rappelling upside down, shooting through 2 layers of walls and through the hatch, and by being rappelled upside down, you're going to have an insane angle all the way to the back of the garage, all the way downstairs. An insanely strong tactic in order to get an almost guaranteed bomb defuse off is by using your friend and having some smoke down below, just planting the bomb wherever you see on the pings. You can actually kind of do like a head glitch by wiggling around on top of the skylight, careful not to fall in, but from here you're going to be able to take out so many people and they won't even have a chance. A way to get very, very easy kills on Yacht is by prepping this little window in the lobby by mailing the bottom twice and then just watching the default cameras. When you see somebody get just out of sight about where I am right now, just do a quick vault out and pre-fire the side. Now this right here is easily the best drone spot that you can get to on tower. From the scaffolding, we're just driving all the way to the side. Huge shout out to Dance and Woja for showing me this spot. You get some very, very amazing visual coverage using this one. Now, easily the best way to give somebody a surprise sandwich is by crawling into this bookcase and meeting hall. You got to be willing to take a little bit of damage yourself, but from here, just wait till they run past you and you can literally just explode out of this little shelving unit. This is so unexpected and really funny when you pull off. Did you know that Maestro can actually finish the kill on a full health operator while they're planting the diffuser? Now, he's not Echo, so he's not going to actually stop the action of them getting the diffuser down, but he will be able to kill a full health 3 armor or 3 speed, so it's almost better. Now, what you see right here is that I actually become very low on health, but instead of challenging it, I just decide to go and wallbang at the exact angle that the attacker is coming from. This is a very, very easy location to just spray head level. You're going to get a lot of headshots as long as you have the information that they're down here. Now, if you're ever trying to trick somebody that's either pulsing through a wall or spotting for the bandit, you got to be careful, because if you melee a wall that has a bandit charge on it, it actually deals massive damage. Not a lot of people realize that, versus where if you just touch it, it is 3 damage only. Now, a cool little trick that you guys can start adding on while you play Mira is that you can actually chip out one of the 2 layers of walls, and that is going to allow you to get very nice vertical angles. This location here on Bank is a great example. Instead of just running out blindly in this very common run out spot on Skyscraper, try using a Valkyrie camera on the tower. Then you guys can run out and hit exact locations with not much chance of getting headshotted back. Now, when you're getting chased by the drone warriors that are going for the drone ace, try going up and jumping on something that's head level next to one of their allies. If you're able to pull this off, this is so satisfying. It's way better than getting any type of one tap. Now, if you guys have caught our latest episode of Parkour Only, then you've most likely seen this spot here. This is one that I literally do every single time somebody is defending upstairs on Skyscraper. It makes for such easy kills. Still, nobody is expecting these angles. Now, don't be afraid to pre-place nitro cells in certain locations where you want to go for kills. On a bunch of different types of ceilings, you can actually just shoot around it, especially because Valkyrie has the deagle. You'll be able to just shoot a couple holes around it and get the nitro cell to drop, and you can go ahead and pick it up. Now, this is an insane Valkyrie spot that you can use, but when you have the Valkyrie Elite and your cameras are this particular color, it blends in, it makes it nearly invisible. This camera here above the bar is an insane one. Jumping on over to Cafe Dostoyevsky, there's an insane angle that you guys will be able to get from underneath of the table. That's from Cigar Lounge all the way to Red Stairs. Who says you can't still spawn kill on tower? Now, if attackers start to make a push from the back over by Spiral Staircase, these murder holes on the bottom of these walls are going to make it insanely dangerous for them. Every single time you guys open up this hatch on Kafe, make sure you check the very bottom of the red stairs. Now, there's certain bomb sites that actually are right up against walls, and when you combine this with the red smoke that they always are giving off, you can make insanely nice pixel peaks that make you nearly invisible. This one here on Oregon, upstairs in the dorms looking outside of the big windows, a perfect example. This right here is a great roaming setup when you're defending on Oregon. This is a rotation from the armory all the way outside into the garage. You can come around people very easily, gives off noise, but you won't get detected. Now, this is a hiding spot on Coastline that has been around since the beginning of time with this map. Still works great. I'm still using it to this day. This is a spawn peak that I'm very most proud of myself for figuring out. There's actually a way that you can vault at that right angle, land on top of the railing, and see directly into these guys' spawn. On Yacht, there's an insane angle that you can get in between the piping at the very bottom at this very common entrance. They're gonna get headshotted as soon as they enter that door. While we're at it, we might as well just fully lock down all of these spawn setups on Yacht. What I do is I break all 3 of these. When they come around the corner, they're gonna see the open entrances, have a 33% chance of getting the right one. Then they're gonna call out the one that you're at, you're gonna switch to a different one, headshot their friend too. This spot on Consualte will help stop anybody that keeps jumping out and doing runouts on that balcony. Now, when you use this spot on bank, you're not going to have much cover, but you can actually run to the end and not just go for spawn kills on people running to the garage, but you can actually be at such an unorthodox angle. Not many people are going to be expecting this one, and most times when you shoot, they're going to think that you're in this little small office, but actually you're not. This Kafe runout is such a strong way to get easy kills on anybody rappelling up the south side. If you combine this with some Valkyrie cameras outside, it's almost guaranteed. These are 2 really strong Valkyrie cameras that's still going to allow you to use the third one wherever you choose. You're going to have great vision on a ton of the areas covering upstairs and also on the spiral that can look out towards the gas station spawn. Next time you guys are getting pushed from the staircase, instead of challenging it from the doorway, try jumping up on top of this little box and then from here looking down towards the end of the hallway. You're going to throw them off, one, not just for being at not head level, but it's also a very tight angle that's very sideways. This Mira setup is going to make anybody think twice before entering into the offices. This nitro cell will also be able to get anybody no matter where they go. Now, if somebody's using a Mira setup in that same room to stop you, this is a great way to counter it. All you gotta do is line up the outside pillar that's by the bathroom and also this fan, and you will be able to get right alongside of this wall and shoot any Mira location. Now, that yet again can also be countered if somebody's going for your counter. If they chose to use their second Mira to protect the piano room, then that means you're gonna have to clear these guys first. Did you know that you can actually stack up goo mines and get them all directly in the same place? You can essentially make a goo mine tower. If anybody is unfortunate enough to walk straight over this, they're gonna take massive damage. This is a great angle on bar stairs. When you're playing on Kafe, you'll be able to see anybody towards the bottom of red stairs and also that bakery area. Now, we're not going to let anybody touch the outside of the map bank by open area, and that's because we're going to be putting a sneaky murder hole inside of the stock trading room and looking all the way down to the window. Did you know that above doorways there's actually a gap, and if you can figure out a way to get elevated enough, you can actually look down and see anybody that's approaching the doorway. You get very easy headshots by using this trick in select spots. Now this right here is easily one of the best camera spots on Clubhouse. Now I know the rework is gonna be releasing very soon, but I'm very confident that I'll still be able to figure out how to get a Valkyrie camera out here, and I'll definitely let you guys know. If there's ever an annoying anchor inside a karaoke, or you just need to get the jump and surprise some people, this is a great rotation, kind of a parkour little run that you can do by blowing out the side of the wall and coming around behind them. On Villa, there's actually going to be a secret rotation from this little torture room area all the way to red stairs. On the red stairs side, it's just the cover of a painting, but now you guys know a good way to spook some people, especially playing as Caveira. You're going to throw some people off guard. Now, I don't know why anybody ever still goes for this spawn kill. Make sure you always pre-fire this entrance door on border when you spawn on the side. Now, instead of standing by that doorway, you guys should stand all the way back in the armory lockers. You'll be able to get a very similar angle, but this one is going to be across the map instead of just being standing at the very obvious location. You'll see that you can still spawn peek from literally the other side of the map. If you guys choose to spawn on the exit tower on Skyscraper, you can stand on the top of the railing and get very nice angles into multiple different windows around the map. This right here is a cool clubhouse rotation / roam / spawn kill setup that I like to use. Mira locations that are placed in the theater looking over the penthouse towards the bathroom are very strong. A lot of people don't realize that the ceiling in the lobby is actually destructible, and you can counter this mirror spot very easily. Now this right here is a pretty nuts angle. We're going all the way from the back of construction all the way up into the dorms hallway. I'll show you guys exactly where these shots land. Instead of climbing up this ladder to get onto K9 balcony, which can be pretty suicidal if somebody's in this office, you can actually use this parkour shortcut and take anybody out that's inside of the office, and then go ahead and open up the windows over lobby. This right here is a very strong diffuser setup on Consualte. If you're able to get the bomb planted, try to do it next to this little small room, and then if you're able to have a friend watch it, you can make your rotation back up, watch it through the crack above the reinforced wall, and you'll be able to get anybody that goes for it. Just make sure you don't miss and they're able to get far enough into the small room where you wouldn't be able to see them. Don't strafe out very far when you go for this very common spawn peek on bank. If you stay within the pillars, you're going to have a much easier time lining up the easy headshot than the attackers will. This right here is a great camera that I use when I defend the dining room and trophy room areas. You can actually break the glass and get it to line up right on top of the windowsill. You can see it's partially protected from the bush and it's very dark, very hard to see. This is a pretty unorthodox flank. You thought I was coming from the hallway? I don't like to be that obvious. Now this is a repeat tip of our 150,000 special, but it's just so true, gotta include it. The best way to stay up to date on all the nuttiest tips and tricks is to be subscribed to Coconut Bra. These are two really nice nades that you guys can use from the very top of the roof on border and get anybody that's in the offices. Just make sure you cook them for a couple seconds, bounce them off the side, and face accordingly to the direction you want your nade to go. I'm gonna help you solve that longing question, reflex or hollow sight. Generally, the idea is that the reflex has not as good of a reticle, but it doesn't block the peripheral vision like you see the hollow sight doing right here. Generally, the hollow sight is looked at with more of a better reticle, but the downside is that it does block some more peripheral vision. No wrong answer, it's all just personal preference. By standing up on the desk and then looking towards the server stairs, you can get a very nice angle that's going to keep you above head level and get a deep angle inside of the bottom of server stairs. Now you don't necessarily have to take out Valkyrie cameras as fast as possible. This one I saw, I knew he was going to do a very obvious run out, so I decided to leave it and do a nice bait. Get a very easy kill. Breaching charges can make for some very nice claymores, especially when you know that they got a vault over the shield. Pretty much the poor man's claymore. Now you don't have to be afraid to kind of roam with your echo drone. A lot of people just seem to plant it on the ceiling and simply wait. You can get some very vital information by using the ability to jump so high. You can get information in skylights, up through hatches. Another great example would be through the hatch underneath in the laundry room on Oregon. Now keep in mind that while you play Siege, general rule of thumb is that you always stay aiming at head level. Putting in murder holes on the bottom of this floor and by many other bomb sites, you're actually creating a spot where the attacker that has to enter the doorway is going to generally not be looking here. You're going to get some easy kills. Now at the same time, for level changes low, you also should keep a lookout anytime you have an opportunity to stand up on something higher instead of just standing behind the ambulance. By jumping up on top of this trash can, that could give you that extra millisecond because they're going to be aiming at head level that you need in order to get the kill first on top of them. Now this Valkyrie camera right here is kind of like a magic trick camera. You're gonna see that as soon as I get it up there, it pretty much disappears. It just glows white and yellow along with this light. Such good vision. It's such an obvious place, but it looks exactly like a light bulb. Now it can be really annoying when you're attacking the garage on Consualte and there's a Mira that's placed in the security room. You will actually be able to get a nice angle downstairs in order to counter it by going by the circled desk and shooting it through the wall. Now this is a line of sight that we saw Cantor Raketti using in the recent Pro League matches on top of bank. There's many different walls that you'll be able to use angles like this from, so just keep a lookout while you're reinforcing walls and take notice if they go all the way up to the ceiling or not. There might just be a gap where you can get some very easy kills from. Placing shields at 90-degree angles right along the doorway causes huge jams for anybody that's entering the room. If they're not able to get other walls open and they're tunneled through this doorway, in combination with a mirror that's very commonly placed on that small wall and a Jaeger ADS to stop anybody from throwing nades in here, this is going to be an absolute death trap. The next time you're in garage and you need to go up the yellow stairs, instead of running all the way around, just take this shortcut where you double jump up the trash can and vault over the yellow railing. Now, even if you get this Mira window opened up on you, as long as nobody's coming down from behind you, this still makes for such a nasty anchor point, especially if you completely erase the wall into security room. Even if it's all open, it's still so dangerous. I love this mirror spot. Now yes, you could do this with any defensive operator, but that wouldn't make for as good of a title, right? I'm vaulting outside of the big tower and spawn killing anybody that lands inside of construction. You also can get a very easy rotate back into the bottom of the small tower. Rappelling on the outside of this armory in between the two lockers, you can actually aim above the left lockers and get shots all the way into the corner of offices. It's very crazy, goes through 2 walls. Now, a lot of people don't realize that there's actually a drone hole that leads directly to the bottom of server stairs, and if you time it correctly along with the right angle, you can actually get a grenade thrown and get it to detonate right as it impacts whoever's at the bottom. Now, spawn peeking outside of this small window and then also the doorway is very common. Whenever I spawn on the kennels, I usually lay down here. There's a nice chip in the bottom of the wall where you can kind of poke your head through and check and pre-fire anybody that might be coming out for you. Whenever you're defending the dining room and trophy room area, generally a good team is going to have to clear the top. This camera inside of the window grates on the outside in the bedroom of Chalet is going to give you not only a view of the outside, but also pretty much cover the entire bedroom. If you're ever roaming on Consualte and need to make a quick push back into garage because the other team made it inside already, this is a great one, just watch for claymores. Now, if I know somebody's inside a library, this is like my first 20-second setup. I set up a claymore so that people don't do runouts on me, but then I also will rappel up here. You can create a nice angle. You can vault over, do a parkour on top of west balcony, and come around behind them on top of the library. Did you know that Jackal's scan has such a long range that you can actually scan people through the floor? Now, when you combine this with a Dokkaebi, a lion, or an objective that's upstairs, as well as destructible maps like Villa, this makes for very easy kills while being a Jackal. This corner right here at the bottom of the staircase on Oregon is such a dark one. Anybody vaulting through the window is going to have the surprise of their life. Did you guys know that Blitz's shield actually counts as an electronic device and that Mute's jammer can actually jam it? It's a little known fact that not many people know. A great way to use Legion is by placing them on the other side of shields, because when you vault over it, you don't really have much control on where you land. You can generally always get people with this one. Now combine this with maybe stacking a couple on top of each other, it's going to be pretty cool. Now shooting out the southeast corner of kitchen is going to leave you a very nice angle to get shots and also grenades all the way in deep inside of the church. This camera spot here is literally good for everything Oregon. Now, in order to counter these Mira spots that are upstairs in the tea room, you got to keep in mind that pretty much the entire floor is destructible. You can use the Jackal Trick to take people out that are camping, and you can also just straight up shoot through the floor in restaurant and take out any Mira spots. By breaking out the top of this wall that goes to the stage, you can actually stand halfway up a big tower and get nice angles into anybody rotating in or out of the meeting hall. Now, you guys should know about this one already, but for all of the new family members of the Coconut Bra family, this is a nice parkour that you can do on Coastline right above the ruins and get super sneaky angles all the way on the side. This is a sneaky angle that you guys can use that goes through the little grated door all the way from lockers through the hatch up through open area. Now, you can actually mute and jam drones that are driving around by the circle desk on Consualte by vaulting up here inside of the security room and placing a jammer on top of this locker box. It's going to jam any drone that's driving around where you see these footprints here. Now we're back here on Oregon and we're going to be doing another undetected outside flank. This one is for later in the game. Anybody that's pushing through the classroom is going to be in for a surprise while they're looking down at the hatch. You're going to be able to get some nice back of the head shots. This is still one of my go-to Coastline Runout spots. Now you can actually counter Thermite and Hibana by throwing impact grenades over the top of walls that don't go all the way up when you reinforce them. Now when somebody is using Hibana, you can't always get the very bottom ones, but man, if somebody tries crawling through an objective into anchors, they're dead anyways. This right here is a really sick C4 that you can use to take out anybody that's trying to enter in the side room on the dorms. Now, not only is this a great place to kind of anchor when you're in the archives on border, but if you need to, you can actually vault over this edge and get some nice flanks. Now in our 100 tip video, I covered 2 C4s that came out of the window. I'm going to be doing a third one here that's different, and this one's going to be going all the way back, perfectly placed to the back of the very far back snowmobile. I just said back about 60 times, so whatever. 6 C4 though. By vaulting up on top of these boxes, you can actually climb on top of the helicopter and get angles very far into the map of Chalet. Title says it all, when you see feet, you shoot. Now keep a lookout for windows of this type. When you melee out the bottom, you can actually see a nice pixel peek and get very easy kills. Runouts from the gaming room to go for garage flanks is always a nuisance to attackers. Now you can actually destroy these bamboo plants or simply stand next to them. They offer great cover and you can take out anybody entering in. This drone hole really needs to get used more. You can see halfway to the kitchen from here for very easy kills. Now this bar in church can actually be meleeed out and give you great angles into anybody that's roaming around the blue hall or even behind the table. You'll see here that if I'm standing up, it's very insanely difficult to see, while the person anchoring behind the bar counter is going to be shooting my feet out. K9 balcony is not a place that attackers expect to get shot from, so anytime I have the opportunity, I use it for flanks. Now this setup down here on the bottom of Clubhouse is very nice. A lot of times people just kind of hang out at the top of the hatch for over a minute. They expect somebody to be behind the shield, so when they drop down, they're shooting very low, but what they're not going to be expecting is somebody standing up with no cover, and you're going to take them out as they're falling. This camera spot in lounge when thrown correctly is going to hide half of the Valkyrie camera but still leave the lens out for you to get very nice vision. This coastline parkour is going to allow you to get really insane angles all the way into hookah. You could also do this as a defender, as Dan Samoja figured out, and actually run up this purple cape and get all the way to the top to reinforce the hatch. Placing lesion traps on top of windowsills can be super annoying to anybody rappelling. While in the rappelled state, you can't actually pull goo mines out. You'd have to go all the way up or all the way down, meanwhile taking damage the entire time. If you know that somebody might be coming for a flank on yellow stairs, instead of holding the angle up by the door, it's better to rappel. You'll still be able to see very far in, right next to the vending machine, and it's much harder to see as a defender. You can actually impact this little closet inside of the dorm's main hall while defending upstairs. This is going to give you a little bit more room to maneuver. Just be careful, if you take out the floor, you could be susceptible to shots from the bathroom. One of the main areas to open up when taking over the piano room is going to be this angle that goes right behind a white van. This is going to cut off anybody rotating in and out. Now, I learned this one from a gameplay of Pengu. He was actually able to climb up on top of the gear inside a mining room and watch anybody coming up bar stairs. Now, there's a lot of really good vertical murder holes that you can use inside of the kids' dorms, but here are two really good ones that you can see the entrance from dining room and also the kitchen area. Alright, we're going to completely lock down the kids' dorms and add two more murder holes. One of these is going to go into the kitchen entrance and the other one is going to be overlooking the top of the bathroom. Alright, now this is a Valkyrie camera that you'll be able to get if you decide to jump outside of West Balcony. It may seem risky, but it's actually pretty safe because even if they spawn on the side, they're not going to really have a good shot at you unless you challenge to fight them. Alright, so for all the buck mains out there, generally this would be your position. Once you enter on bank, you're going to be watching for rotate holes. I mean, obviously this angle works for any class, just keep this one in mind. Now this is a really great Valkyrie camera spot. On the side of the ceilings above the hallway on Coastline, there's actually gaps where Valkyrie cameras fit perfect. This right here is an insanely strong position to support your teammates and help them cut off anybody that might be going for a flank while your teammates make the push onto anybody upstairs. So we're going to be inside of the Sunrise bar, placing one melee hole and then going behind the couch. This is going to give us an angle all the way to the lobby where a lot of people would go to counter the Mira that we learned up in theater. Sound is insanely important in Siege. If you're ever in a 1v1 situation, for example, and you're locked down in a room and you know where each other are, if you do something as simple as running and breaking the door and then coming back, you can get a very easy kill because he's going to assume that you're rotating around. Now, there's a bunch of different ways that you can set up your Mira in order to watch CCTV room on bank. One of the cooler ways that I've learned recently is by actually erasing these walls and basically turning it into one giant room. Makes it very intimidating for anybody to enter. Now right here is another great spot that you can use to change your head level in a very high traffic area. By just simply standing on top of this desk, you're partially hidden behind the solid door frame and you can also see so much area. Man, now this will pretty much finalize all of the best angles that you can do from the dorms. By adding this one on, you'll be able to watch all the way to the window from the back of kids' dorms. If you got good precision slow walking skills, by vaulting up on top of the spiral staircase is going to give you an insane spawn peek into gas station. Instead of just simply standing by this window to spawn peek into the pool, actually come over here and vault up on top of the couch. It's going to give you a little bit more room. You'll be farther back and harder for them to headshot. Now this is a great way to defend anywhere on the second floor of bank. By using this Mira setup, you have the potential to go through 3 different walls all the way into the lobby. Now, similar to the one from classroom into dorms, this is a great one for anybody making a late push. You can come below them and get a nice C4 into anybody that's in the hallway and that wants to enter the objective room upstairs. Hiding underneath of this desk is surprisingly effective. When you try it out, you're going to see that there's a ton of drones that are just going to fly past you. You're going to get some easy flanks. Now, the final spawn kill to completely lock down Yacht. This is going to take care of that final spot. Here's a great mirror setup. By deleting this wall, you can see into the armory, the top of the stairs, and also this dorm room. This is a very common area for attackers to be approaching from. Always be on the lookout on areas that you can break the top of walls and get 2 rooms for the price of 1 Valkyrie camera. This one is a great example on Clubhouse. Yep, there's a little known fact. Not many people realize that the ladders that have these little notches on the side, you can actually scale them with your drone. This right here is a great way to take out that lobby camera. Of course, if you have IQ, it'll be that much easier. By leaving this hatch open, it's pretty unorthodox, but anybody that's rushing from the construction tunnel is going to be in for a surprise because this angle makes it very difficult to see. As well as if you get pushed from lobby, you can drop down the hatch and rotate back up around tower. While we're in meeting hall, check out this Valkyrie camera. It's going to go inside of this drone hole and be able to get both the highly traffic area in meeting hall and also outside. Like we saw on tower, you can actually use the Tachanka turret as a replacement for a shield to get into certain windows and use them to give the attacking team a hell of a surprise. This is a spawn peek that I learned from the legend himself, Noted. By vaulting up on top of this railing, when you look south, you can see the pathway that leads down to the garage and catch a bunch of people off guard. Now, by just looking at this ceiling, it doesn't really look breakable, but you can actually use it and take out a bunch of people that vault in. Now we're going to be doing 2 really sneaky grenade spots, and you're going to see them both coming from the vents on the ceiling, and they're both leading to insanely high anchor points. Now this is a really cool camera. If you just peek outside of the dining hall, you can get a camera that goes either directly behind the garbage can or on the other side in this little grass bush. Gonna have great coverage. By using this angle from the meeting hall stage, you'll be able to create a pixel in between the bench that goes to the back of the stairs. So if anybody's trying to push laundry room, they're gonna get a bullet to the back of the head. Now, if you want to be extra annoying, you can also have a shield set up and you can rotate back here if you get pushed, or you can have a friend watching the other side. These shots from the big tower pixel are going to go all the way to the classroom. Now, I learned this spawn peek from Sergio, and if you jump up on top of this glass case, you can see anybody as their head appears at the top of the stairs going up to the helicopter. Now, if you can stop yourself from getting spotted by a drone, this is easily the most aggressive spawn peek you can do on Skyscraper. Now, similar to the noise trick of faking a rotation by a door, you can do the same with actual throwables such as grenades. This is a great example in the construction tunnel on Clubhouse. If somebody's around the corner, you can actually pull your grenade out, listen to see maybe they'll run away, and then you can shoot them in the back. One of the best spots for Cavera, or even just a general hiding spot on Coastline, is hiding upstairs in the hookah lounge. You're gonna actually blend in behind these pillows. Now, this is a sick tactic that we learned in a recent Pro League Tips video. We're gonna be able to place 2 different mute charges, and then from here, we're jamming so much area in the meeting hall, pretty much both sides of these doorways. Now, this angle from the floor above in meeting hall is a great way to stop the diffuser from going down and also anybody just rushing the entrance. Now, when you're playing on Oregon, going for a spawn peek into junkyard from small tower, instead of standing on the staircase or even right up against the window, actually come back. You can see in between the pole and shoot right into the spawn. Now, getting aggressive with a very easy escape. This runout right here is going to take out anybody that's trying to get into the garage. This outside camera on Consualte is going to blend in very well. You can get it underneath this little edge and get huge coverage on the south side of the map. Now, it's kind of the general consensus that a lot of times this wall gets reinforced, but instead of doing that, try leaving it open for a round. You can actually easily take out anybody that's going for a plant in the most common spot. Alright, Coconut Bra family, for our 150th tip, we are gonna be climbing a drone through this tree, vaulting on top of the edge, and from here you can choose any of the windows to get your drone into. I prefer this first one. It's a little bit higher up, has overall better coverage of the lobby. As you guys can tell, you can see pretty much all the main areas that people would be rotating from.